This is the sign project. It's finished up here. I just added a finish over the top of it, and it was the last step really. And I think it turned out really nice. I mean, this was a fun project right here. This really turned out well. Although I'm still kind of learning with the sign making. There's a number of imperfections with this sign. Next time I'll be able to do better. But some of the imperfections are that you can kind of see right there that there's some bleeding. This is a red cedar is what this is made out of. It's a real thick chunk of cedar. On the outside surface here, it's clear. There is one knot in the top of this sign right there, just a small knot, but everywhere else it's clear cedar. Nice piece of wood. It was rough cut. I rough cut it. I left the back side rough cut, and I added a router bead around the top here, just for a little extra detail. Some of the other defects with this are that, like you can see down here, the text is not absolutely perfectly lined up on the bottom, not perfectly straight, and I kind of did that myself, knowingly really. And it was while I was doing it, but I didn't realize that it was going to kind of show up a little bit more visible than I would like. But you can kind of see where on the A's, that the A's are a little bit lower. And there, with the router bit that I chose, I was a little concerned that I would be able to leave that little chunk right there and for the bottom part of the A, because it's very tiny. I mean, that is probably about a 1/16 of an inch right there in size. And so what I did was I just kind of fudged it a little bit, and I brought it down a little bit, the bottom part of the A, as I was routing that out. And I'm glad I did that, because it worked out. I left the little dot of material right there, and but the downside of that is that it's not perfectly straight going across right here. And I think it's hardly noticeable, but for me, I see it because I did this. I see it as kind of a defect. Another defect I think is over here with the hand, that I kind of screwed up with how I routed out this hand right here. I think this guy looks nice right here, but this kind of just messed that up a little bit. That's just me. Another thing is when I sprayed the black background here, I think I sprayed too heavily over this, because I had to sand down quite a bit to get all the black out. And even then, you can, like I said here, you can still see some black right there, that it's just sopped in there so much that I didn't really want to sand this any more than I did, because you start to run the risk of now you get into the black area here and start sanding that down. That would be a real problem. Another just kind of defect was that there is a hairline crack going across here. You might not be able to see it. Hairline crack going across. And that's just, I think, part of the wood. It might be part of the drying process that I used for this. But yeah, it's just a hairline crack. And, and spraying this, I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it when I started out. Otherwise, maybe I would have used the other side of this. But in spraying this, with the black background, a little bit of that black spray paint got into that crack, and now it's visible. It's not bad. Like you have to really get in there to see it. Like if I get that close, you can kind of start to see it right there. Yeah. So things like that. I think the next time I do one of these signs, I'm going to use a sealer over the sign first to try and prevent some of this color bleeding into the wood, and yeah, maybe think about the size of the text a little bit more. Maybe go a little bigger with the text. And I think part of it's also just getting the experience of doing these and getting the better coordination with the router. When you're routing this out to avoid these kind of defects over here. But overall, I think the sign turned out really well.